Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, welcome to our edition of Nebraska. Alright, so if you recall from the previous episode, we were seeding this field and then it crashed during mid-seeding. And I believe it was due to the ridge marker. So what I've done is I set them to manually, and hopefully we don't get that error again. One thing to note with this particular seeder, that might be the cure for that particular situation, and we shall see. I'm not 100% sure what the deal is. Which way did I set it to go? Does it make a difference in this field? Not really. So one of the things to take note is that might be the reason why it crashed before. So if you have the ridge markers, make sure you set them to manual, not automatic. Because there are no ridge markers on this particular thing, and I think that was the reason why it decided to. I'm going to get out of here, it looks terrible. That was, I think, the reason why it decided to do that, so just keep that in mind. So we'll see what happens here when he gets to the end of this pass. We'll see. I set him up for the wrong direction, but that's fine. So we'll see what happens. So far he seems to be alright, but let's just tag along for a second here. Luckily I downloaded another mod called the autosave mod just to make sure things would be running smoothly. So luckily it saved within 5 minutes, and then I was able to come back here like fairly easily. So it's actually a nice little mod to have there. That was also from the FarmSim main website, so if you run into similar problems... Oh, I'm planting wheat here? Oh well, that works, I guess. If you run into similar problems as I did, then it might be a nice mod to have. Oh, it's one of these ones that just stays on the whole time. Okay. You do need to lower this initially, or else it won't seed. It'll drive the course with the booms out, but it won't actually seed unless you keep them lowered, I discovered. So that's why he just did a circle there and was still doing it. So far it seems running smoothly again. That probably was the reason why. That's what caused the error, so I'm not sure how you go about fixing that, but maybe there must be something within this seeder, this particular mod, that it makes it seem as if it has ridge markers and it tries to access them in the game, and it's like, you do not have ridge markers, do not pass go. So I'm assuming that's the reason, at least, so we shall see what happens. Hopefully that solved the problem. I'm not 100%, but it does seem to have rectified the scenario or situation for the time being. So, oh, interesting. He actually turned it off there. I guess he's going to another new point. I guess I could just look here too. Yeah, so he's coming up here. Then I'm going to go down there. He turned it off though. Is he going to turn it back on when he does a little turn? This is always the fun part, to try and see what it's trying to do here. Watching it is always comical in itself. The problem is, if I do it, if I actually make the turn for him, what will happen is it will probably get off track. Oh no, he turns it back on. That's good to know. So yeah, it's just that one little... I'm just gonna let him do his thing. He'll find his way eventually. That seems to have worked so far. So it probably was just that manual ridge markers. But that's something that's kind of annoying. Ah, interesting. So despite the fact that it wasn't actually touching the ground, it still will seed. So that's good to know. So it seems like that ridge marker was the problem. So as you can see, I got these two guys running here as well, working away. Slowly working away at this barley harvest here. On the other field there we have wheat, so we'll get them running on that in a moment as well. So once they are done, that will be good. I don't know how much, let's just check to see what our stocks are at. Canola is up, so we could sell canola to the seed store and make just a heap of cash. I don't know, I'm not sure what the reason why these prices are like this, but I'm not complaining, I just think it's odd, that's all. We don't have any more salads, so we can't do anything about that, but why is that weird and bright like that? Oh well. So that's what we got going on for the time being. Hopefully we'll have some, hopefully that's at 50%. What's the other guy at? 50% as well. And I think you can set this guy by driver distance. Okay, so he's by distance. So whichever driver's closer is the one that's going to come and unload the combine. That's how it's set up. But if I set it to fill level, so whatever is the lowest, I believe, will come first. And that doesn't matter how close they are or whatnot, so they'll do that regardless. So that is one of the other little factors about that. So it's funny, if you wanted to set this up properly for courseplay, what you'd probably do is you'd probably do the headlands at the end instead of the start, because with courseplay, what will happen is it'll come down this line, and because you've already bailed these ones, it'll hit the bail and then move it out of the way. Almost always happens, so something to keep in mind. Alright, let me just... No, I can't grab my phone. Ha! Alright, so... one of the things that happened recently, a couple people left some comments from the previous episode. We're just gonna bring those up real quick here. Here we go. So here's some of the comments from the previous episode, or some of the other episodes. Thomas asks, does anyone know how full your silage bunker at the biogas plant needs to be before you can blanket it? Usually it's about 10%. That's what the level is. You can do a bit less than that if you have certain mods installed, but if you don't have those mods installed, then it will be 10% usually. Harold asks, do you have internet to install Farming Simulator? And of course the answer is not necessarily. If you have it in disk form, then you don't need it. Then you don't need to have the internet. Kelly says, I'm lucky I found this channel because I have never seen Lily in Texas. Well, there you go. I think they're referring to the Farming Simulator in Real Life video I did a while back, or I released. So that was about the Lily Lotus Tedder, single row tedder. I love GTA Add Me on Xbox. Man, that's gotta be the one of the more interesting names. Outside never looks very smooth, but inside so smooth. So he or she, not sure, asks, they wanted a link for the Sycamore Moor from that 2013 video. And that's from the Historical Farming Pack in 2013. Cool little pack. Jacob says yes, it was a Kenworth in the American Truck Sim. That's good to know. So it looks like Kenworth and Peterbilt are going to be in for sure, and Volvo, which is good. I don't know what other brands they're going to have. Freightliner would be cool to see, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think there's also International, if memory serves. Not 100% on that. Someone was asking about, someone really wanted me to give them a link to this truck right here. That's the truck I actually changed over to 2015, so there's no link for that. That was me just tinkering around with that mod. It works fine now, just the interior looks terrible. So I haven't fiddled with it for a while, so for the time being it's just what it is. Oh, come on. Hurry up, tractor. That's ridiculous. So here's one of the benefits of courseplay. So if you have your combine running on courseplay, once it starts to unload, like this right here, once he gets below 80%, I believe it is. I think it's 80%. Yeah, it is. So once it gets below 80%, he'll start going again, which is one of the cool things about courseplay, as opposed to a high worker, which would just stay there and just wait to be unloaded. And that's one of the problems, though. It's got to fire up again. Colin says, great video. He says, great video. I've now fixed the fence issue that he had with Nebraska. Some people have been having problems trying to remove the fences. Usually the problem comes into with how you name the file after you save it in Giant's Editor and zip it up again. That's usually the problem that people run into. And then the other problem might be is they just zipped it incorrectly. I think that's what Colin was saying. Sorry, I had to grab a sip of coffee there. That's what Colin was saying, I believe. He had a problem with the zip file. Joe asks, what's my PC setup that I'm running the game? I updated my gear, oh gosh, on my website, iainrobson.ca. I think it's /mygear. Now I need to find it. Let me just check real quick. Is it that? No. I believe it is. If the sound's cutting in and out, it's because I'm tabbing out pretty quickly here. That's what it is, so I apologize. Although my voice still should be constant, the in-game sound probably won't be. Yeah, so it's iainrobson.ca /my-gear. or you can just alternatively go to iainrobson.ca and click on My Gear at the top right hand corner. So yeah, it'll right there on that on that particular page on the website. It has my current gaming computer. That's what I currently have at the moment, and it also has the other gear that I use for recording and whatnot. So, so far with the new computer, I'm pretty pleased with it. Performance-wise, I'm pretty pleased with it. Although there are some issues I've been dealing with. The audio issue, I'm not 100%. It seems to be quote unquote the motherboard, which is annoying, as I mentioned before. So right now, I just left my computer on for the last few days, and it seems it's okay for the time being. But it seems to be only when I restart it at certain times. Like if I restart it, so if I shut it down today and come back, I may have the issue again, so I'll have to restart, and then the issue may go away, it may come back. As far as I know, what it's related to is there is a particular function with this motherboard that's called depop, and it's supposed to decrease the amount of popping in the microphone, but apparently it actually creates it, which is kind of annoying. But as far as I can tell, that is the issue I have narrowed it down to. I'm not 100% on if that is the exact issue or not, and that's kind of difficult to nail down without testing a different motherboard, essentially, with all the same gear. Although I did try the video card on the other computer, and that worked fine. And outside that, that's really the only thing I could change over. I tried the RAM on the other computer, and that worked fine as well. CPU, I can't try. Different socket set. And motherboard, yeah. I don't know, I'm not sure what other testing I could technically do with my current setup. So, but yeah, it seems to be the motherboard for the time being, so I'll have to go into the BIOS settings and change that. I don't know if it will fix the problem or not. That's the frustrating part. So, I'm mulling around in my head the idea of getting another motherboard and testing it out on that, but that means dropping there a couple $100. Not ideal. Definitely not ideal. I'd rather fix the problem rather than spending some more money. But the problem is, if I have this issue for the next 10 years, it's going to, well, not 10 years, but if I have the issue for the next 5 years, let's say, well, say 2 to 5 years, however long I have my computer for, that's going to be a really annoying issue over time. Right now, it's not too bad, because the computer's still new, but as time progresses, if I have to do this every single time, a little frustrating. And also, I ran into some other weird issues, actually. What was the other one I ran into? When I was on TeamSpeak the other day, for whatever reason, my microphone wouldn't get recognized in TeamSpeak. Like, I would have to restart TeamSpeak for it to work. It's really odd. But that's USB related, probably. But again, the USB goes into your motherboard, so let's just say it's a good motherboard, though. I like it, but obviously it's not 100%. Not 100%. Like, it might be a manufacturer defect, and then in that case, I have to contact ASUS, which is the motherboard I have, and then I'll have to get a replacement, which just takes weeks, and then you have to pay for the return shipping and all that jazz, so not always as helpful. Oh, this is the last pass. Sweet! Didn't even realize that. Alright, so what we'll have the guy, well, he's just going to do his last pass. We're going to get that T8 to come by and unload. And as you can see, this is the nice thing about, I didn't do that, did I? No. This is the nice thing about this setup. Oh, there's some hydraulic errors. That's not good. Bad reference frame. Oh, that's not good. So that, FYI, while this mod does work, it is not error-free, not by a long shot. It does get dirty, which is fine. It'll get cleaned at midnight, which is another mod I picked up not too long ago. I was on the weekend. I was talking with Farmer Revius, and he was like, "Hey, try this mod out." So the mod's called it translated in English. The mod's called the brownie mod, essentially. And what happens is, at midnight every night, the brownies will come out and they will clean your equipment. So I have to remember to leave cookies and milk for them. Apparently, that's what Beavis was telling me. So I like it. It means I don't have to deal with the placeable. I don't have to deal with the pressure washer, but the equipment's clean at the end of every day, which I think is kind of cool. I like the idea of the equipment getting dirty, but I don't like sitting there with the pressure washer, because basically all you do is where's the demonstration? So all you do is, like, you can sit here with the pressure washer, and all I do is sit in one particular spot and spray. That's all I do. I don't enjoy it because it doesn't work. If I go all over the place, it doesn't just wash. I don't know. I like the concept, but it doesn't work as well as I would like. Anyhow, so because of that, I picked up the brownie mod. I believe that's what it's called. And it's not, you'd have to look for the actual name. I'd have to, if Beavis is watching, if you could leave a link, that would be fantastic. I can't remember the name of it. If he doesn't do it, I'll have to go out of my way to look for it as well. Excellent, so he is done. Awesome. Sweet, so what we'll do is we'll get this guy working on the other field. So I don't know what it does this. Look at this. So at the end of the course, when it's unloaded, it does this. It folds everything up, including the header, which is really odd. So right now the header is, it's unfolded, so it's ready to be transported, which is kind of cool, but strange if you want to use it again. Alright, so those guys can stay. What we'll do is set this guy on his way. Drive now. I know he should be refueled, which is fine. And this guy, I think, oops, I think if I look carefully, yeah, so this is ready to be harvested as well. And if I don't harvest it soon, I'll run into problems. Because that looks like it's the last stage there. He hasn't used that much seed at all. If you think about it, like, that he's used 15% of the capacity of that particular seeder, just to give you an idea, and he's almost done the field, which is nuts. Alright, so anyways, let's get this guy rolling. Have I made a course for 7? No, it doesn't appear I have. Okay, let's do that real quick. So this is field 7. We'll start from the southwest corner, and what's a good way to head? Heading east, because there's that hill over there and people always get stuck in the hill. So what we'll do is we'll do headland, we'll do 2 headlands, and we'll do them at the start. Actually, no, we'll do them at the end, only for the sake of, well, it'll be weird if I do it that way. Okay, so there we go. Generate the course, and that's the starting point right there. This is good. And save this as F7. I'm sorry, I just hit the mic with my hand there. F7 combi. Good. Perfect. Alright, so let's get this guy rolling. Drive course. Let's go to first waypoint. Bing, bang, boom. Done. How is the T8 in traffic? Oh, that kind of traffic. I gotcha. I'll just do it myself then. So, let's grab this guy, drive him over here. One of those strange things I encountered at the end of the last episode, I was trying to refill this tractor, and I'm afraid if I try to refill the tractor again, I'll run into problems. So I'm not going to try to refill him, which is kind of strange, but I just don't want to have to deal with problems there. I don't want it to have it crash again. But that autosave mod seemed to work well for the time being, so, which is good. I think you can save the autosave in the console commands, but I don't know. I don't know if it is for a multiplayer, if it's for this or not. Let's just drive the course. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. We'll just have it run out of fuel. We'll see what happens there. The one thing to note, though, is that this does seed. It doesn't appear to fertilize, so we will need to fertilize the field, obviously. But this thing gets dirty really fast. Look at that. Like, that's... I haven't set to it on slow, dirty. I don't know. The rate at which things get dirty is on slow, but it doesn't seem to make a difference because that is super dirty already. That's a little bit quick in my opinion, but maybe that's what it would look like after doing most of a field. I don't know. I'm not an expert, not by a long shot. We're probably not going to need this much straw, but whatever. We'll let it roll. What we can do actually is, because we have some barley and some canola, we could do, let's grab our semi here, and we'll get him to do a load of canola. So we have a course set up for that, I believe. Where is it? Did I call it sell seed store? Perfect. And set them up for canola. Because we want some money, so we might buy another tractor after we get some money. Alright, so let's roll him around. Also, I bought that rake. I can't remember if I should do that on camera or not. I probably did. Whoa, That was a bad turn. Let's just get this guy rolling here. And we sent him to canola already, to the seed store. Perfect. I could show you the Kenworth that I have, but it doesn't look. It's not very pretty on the inside. It's on the outside it looks all right, but on the inside it looks like rubbish. For those English people out there. Excellent, sweet. So once you get things rolling on like a big farm like this, it actually doesn't take long to do things. Like these fields are big, but they're not that big. Like I did start that field on the other side there, and that's partially the reason why it didn't seem to take that long. Like I could theoretically have 2 combines running on the same field, which isn't unreasonable. I could actually do that. I don't have the money for it right now, but it wouldn't be that difficult, to be honest with you. And then you just roast through the fields like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, but that brownie mod, man. When I found out about that, I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. It has a funny name though. What I will do is, I think, should I get him to start on the straw? I don't know. I don't think so. I want that combine to keep rolling. Oh, good. Let's go check on the fermentation of this guy right here. I'm pretty sure it will probably nothing or very little. 4%. Yeah. So what we're going to try and do, I think, is I'm going to try. I have to remember to feed the cows again because they don't have very much hay at the moment. Yep, still A+. This is good. But if I go here and okay, so on Sunday in 3 days. This is going to be it. I probably could feed. What happens is, right now that's A+ because it hasn't been hit by rain or anything like that. And as the quality goes down, so does the amount, I believe, if memory serves. So it actually will go reduce the amount of hay that's actually there. I guess the way you think about it like this, it reduces the amount of feedable hay because you have to get rid of all of the extra stuff that's not worth that cows can't eat. That's the way to think about it, at least. Excellent. So I think what I'll do is I'll stop the episode there for now. Because we used to have the harvest going on, and did I save this course? Good, I did save it. So I'll stop it there for now, and then I think we'll come back and we'll continue the harvest next episode, I think, and maybe we'll do some baling as well. Actually, what we'll do, we'll wait for this guy to do his thing. Let's just finish off with a big oh my goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? A big sale, kind of? He's taking this turn awfully slow. He's being careful of those pedestrians there, so. It's funny, you can actually turn off the pedestrians, I realized. It's one of the settings there that you can turn off. It's kind of interesting. Is it this? No, it's not in this game, actually. No, I apologize. That's in Euro Truck, you can turn the pedestrians off. Doesn't really make a difference if you... Because I don't think you can run over pedestrians in that game. I don't think. I've never tried, but... Alright. Let's have this guy rolling around here. Perfect. And let's see how much money I get. So we have 140,000 right now. And I suspect that by the end of this load being sold, because remember, the current price for canola at the seed store, which is where he is going, is $6,746 a ton, which is ridiculous. Canola is a good crop to grow if you can get a good harvest. At least that's, from what I can tell, I'm not an expert, and it really depends on your location. So some people have a good area for it, some people don't. They don't like, canola doesn't like being super wet, so if you have like, if you live in like lower ground where it gets wet more often, it's not the best. So yeah, there we're at 200,000. Just to give you an idea of how much 6,700 a liter or ton goes for. Just to give you an idea, this was only 75,000 liters. So this was one load out of a possible, what, 2 loads, I suppose? Yeah. Just to give you an idea. Anyways, folks, what we'll do is we'll sell the next load next episode, and then we'll crack the $1 million barrier. And that'll be it for me for today. My name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2015 coming at you from Nebraska. Catch you guys later.